I'm Sebastian, and this is for Mrs. Mann's class, and reading The Old Woman Who Named Things by Cynthia Rylant. Once there was an old woman who loved to name things. She named her old car. She drove Betsy. She named her old chair she sat in Fred. She named her old bed slept on Roxine. And she named her old house Franklin. Every morning she would get out of Roxine and have a cup of cocoa. And Fred lock up Franklin and drive to the post office. And Betsy, she always hoped for a letter from someone, but she always got bills. The reason the old woman had never got any letters was because she had outlived every single one of her friends. This worried her. She didn't like this idea of being lonely without any friends, without anyone who she could call by name. So she began to name things, but she only named things she knew could have never outlived her car, Betsy, or get up and go. And then anything around her chair, Fred, had never sagged in a day's life. No trick or moan she'd ever heard out of Roxine. Our house, Franklin, had been standing straight for over 100 years and still did not look a day past 20. The old woman never worried about outliving any of them, and her days were happy. One day, the old woman was soaking some mud off Betsy, telling that her Franklin would be seen with a car that could not keep. The old woman had not named the gate because two of its hinges are rusted. Gate, the old woman had named because two of its hinges had rusted. And off could tell the gate it wasn't belonging for this world. The shy brown the old woman did not name it because it had rusted. Off she could tell the gate isn't of this world. The shy brown puppy wagged its tail and looked at a little hungry. The old woman stood beside Betsy to watch the little puppy for a while. She said. Then she walked into Franklin and got a chunk of ham for her refrigerator and came back outside. The old woman had gave the ham to the hungry puppy and told it to go home. She told it Betsy always made puppies sick, and Fred never allowed puppies to sit on him. Roxine wasn't wide enough for a puppy, and an old woman to fit on it bedside at all as Franklin could tortle dog hair, so the puppy went away. The next day, the puppy was back. The old woman was sitting and Fred reading at the book of Everlasting Flowers when she saw the puppy through her window. "Go home," she called to the puppy. The puppy wagged his tail. When she saw her, "Go home," she called again. But the puppy just kept on wagging. The old woman noticed that still she had given the puppy a hunk of cheese and 2 biscuits. Then she told the puppy to win, and the puppy went away. That night, as the old woman plumped up her pillows in Roxine, She thought about the puppy. It was a very nice puppy. She thought it was a very pretty puppy. She thought, but she could not stay. If it stayed, she would have to give it a name and outlive it, and she didn't want to risk that. So she outlived any more friends. She would just keep telling it to go home. Every day she sat around Puppy came to the old woman's gate. Every day she fed it and told it to go home. Always she went away and it came back the next day. This went on for many months. The puppy got bigger and bigger until soon it wasn't a puppy anymore. It was a dog. In the middle until soon it wasn't a puppy anymore. It was a dog, and it was still a dog with no name. And all this time the old woman had got a new dresser that she had named Bill, a new wheelbarrow that she had named Frankine, Franken, Francine, and new concrete pig for a garden that she had named Bud. But the dog she had faithfully, woman didn't have any to worry about outliving it, and she knew herself pretty clever in this. Then one day she started a dog did not come to the old woman's house. Dad and Fred watched the gate all day long, but never came. The old woman felt sad. The next day again did not come. The old woman drove Betsy around town looking for the dog, but she did not find it. The old woman felt even sadder. The following day, when she still did not come, the old woman knew what she had to do something. She picked up a telephone and called the dog catcher. "Have you caught any brown dogs?" the woman asked. Dog catcher, "A whole kennel full of shy brown dogs." Said dog catcher. "Was yours wearing a collar with his name on it?" "No," said the old woman suddenly, and she hung up the telephone. The old woman sat on and thought about the shy brown dog. She had no collar with the name. Whatever it was, no one would know that it was supposed to come to the old woman's gate every day. That was supposed to feed it and tell it to go home every day. The things were always supposed to be this way. The shy brown dog had no collar and no name. No one would ever be able to know these things about it. This old woman made a decision. She locked up Franklin and drove Betsy to the dog catcher kennel. She said to the dog catcher, "I've found to call my dog." He asked her, "What color was it?" "Brown." She said. She asked her how old it was. "About a year old," she said. Then she asked her what name it was. The old woman thought a moment. She thought of all the dear friends with names. Whom she outlived. She smiling faces and remembered their lovely names. And she thought how lucky she'd been to have known these friends. That lucky old woman she was. "My dog's name is Lucky," she told the dog catcher. He led her a big yard full of white dogs and black dogs and brown dogs. The old woman looked. Finally she saw her own brown dog sitting beside the gate. The dog was looking at Betsy's parked in the driveway. The old woman called out, "Here, Lucky!" And the sound of her voice, the shy brown dog came running. From that day, Lucky with her old woman, she always came. When the name was called, it turned to Betsy and didn't make all dogs sick. Fred was happy to allow the dogs, and Franklin really didn't mind a little dog hair. And every night, Roxine was sure to make herself plenty wide enough for a brown lucky dog and an old woman who named him. This book is The Old Woman Who Named Things, and she named her car, she named her house, she named her concrete pig, she named her dog after a while when she went to the dog catcher. She named her chair, she named her bed. Those are all the things she named, and what I liked about the story is when she gave her the little dog food every day and it got bigger and bigger and bigger in a few months. And when they went to the dog catcher, he said what name it was, and she thought about this for a long time. And then she said, his name is Lucky. And he also said, what color is it? And then she opened this and said, brown. Is it shy? And she said, yes. And then she found it staring at her car. And then she said, here, Lucky, Lucky. And then all of them didn't mind a little dog here and little paws, like the bed in mine was even wider because of the dog, and she had to make herself a little wider. And then the car didn't mind the little dog hair, and the house didn't mind the little dog hair. And so when they got the dog back, that's what I also liked. That's what I liked second. Bye.